Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the south, more specifically Flatwoods, West Virginia. I'm here at the welcoming sign, welcome to Flatwoods, home of the Green Monster. Yes, right there on the sign lets you know that this is where the monster's from. Now, for those of you unfamiliar, the Green Monster in Flatwoods, probably better known as the Flatwoods Monster, or sometimes called Braxy, because this is Braxton County. The Flatwoods Monster, one of my favorite cryptids. If you see, actually, on my hat, have a pin of the Flatwoods Monster right there. You can see he has a very unique look, a very unique shape to him, this almost otherworldly shape to him. Some say that it is a spacesuit of some sort, that the monster that you see is not actually the monster, but a capsule that contains the monster. A little bit rainy here today in Flatwoods, but it just adds to the mood. It's also loud semi-trucks. Because today we're gonna visit Flatwoods and explore what there is to explore about the Flatwoods Monster. And again, one of my favorite monsters. I feel like the Flatwoods Monster, you know, for in some ways it has to play second fiddle to Mothman. Mothman not too far from Flatwoods here in West Virginia. So the Mothman, probably the most ominous, famous cryptid, and you have the Flatwoods Monster just lives a few hours away, so he, you know, gets the short end of the stick and not being as well known. But I think the Flatwoods Monster is at a top level cryptid, up to the level of Mothman. So let's explore. Follow me. Over here at the Flatwoods Municipal Building, we have this. This is a replica of the Flatwoods Monster. They have several replicas here in town built as chairs. Now, each replica is built to be the same size and height of the Flatwoods Monster, so you can kind of get some perspective on just how big the Flatwoods Monster is. Here on the sign we get some great information about the Flatwoods Monster. It was 1952, September 12th, 1952. Some teenagers saw a streak across the sky, much like a UFO, that landed. They went to check out what it was, and then they saw this, a 10-foot tall alien monster with a weird spade-shaped head and what they called a metal dress. And they said that it had a foul odor, at least a sulfurous odor, a sulfurous cloud in the air when it is present. It says that there was 2 other sightings of the monster. A woman walking in the woods spotted the giant towering Flatwoods Monster with a trademark sulfurous smoke in the air. And then another individual driving their car had their car suddenly die and stop, where they smelt that stinky sulfur smell and once again encountered the towering Flatwoods Monster. So what did the monster want with Flatwoods? What was he trying to accomplish? Was he a visitor from somewhere else? Is this a suit? Is this his actual body? Is he a robot? So many questions left for the Flatwoods Monster. On there it says free Braxy. It says help us free the Flatwoods Monster, known to his friends as Braxy, by documenting his existence to defeat the Men in Black. So basically, they're asking you to share your experiences on and with the chairs here. Share them on social media so people cannot forget about them, that the Men in Black cannot wipe everyone's mind to make them forget about the Flatwoods Monster. Now, these Flatwood Monster replicas are actually chairs, so you can sit there in the throne, and encourages you to take your picture and share it on social media. You can see how tall a monster is compared to me, a normal size human being. The sea here's a little wet, so I'll just stand here with the Braxy, with the Flatwoods Monster, with the Green Monster. Across from the municipal building, we have the Spot, a little diner here that actually has some UFO themed sandwiches. Because Flatwoods, West Virginia is the spot where the Flatwoods Monster landed, September 12th, 1952. Here we have a police drawing of the Flatwoods Monster. It says Ace of Spades helmet, so they are saying it is a helmet. Eyes illuminated from the inside. It says something in upper torso area, unsure. Possible antennas. This says it's 12 feet tall. It says lower torso flared out. The tubes of a propulsion system hovering 1 foot above the ground. So, yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. Here we have the menu for the Spot. And they have their signature UFO sandwiches. They have the Flatwoods, just ham, salami, and pepperoni. The Point Pleasant was a reference to Mothman. The Encounter is bacon. Roswell is grilled chicken. They're all like different alien-themed UFO sandwiches. Area 51 is a pizza calzone. The Twilight is a turkey. And the Philly is a ribeye. That's, I don't know, Philadelphia, not necessarily a alien hotspot. So sticking with the local flavor, I got the Flatwoods UFO sandwich. Oh, and look at that. That's interesting. It's like almost like a calzone type crust, but it's got tomatoes, lettuce inside. This one has, I think, salami and pepperoni on it. But yeah, looks good. We got a little cup of some sort of sauce right there. So let's try our UFO sandwich here. Let's see. That is really tasty. Yeah, it's got the salami, ham, a little bit of mayonnaise, tomato, onions. Let's see what this sauce is right here. I don't know, is that like, I don't know what that is. It's like almost like a ketchup-y, sweet and sour. This is special sauce. Lots of secrets here in Flatwoods. We'll try our special sauce there. This is really good and really unique. It's like a combination of like a sub sandwich and a pizza all together. Really unique. So come out here. Definitely stop by the Spot if you are in the West Virginia mountains here in Flatwoods. And here we have another monster chair. There are 5 of these chairs in total. I guess they're each individually designed to look different so that there's a reason to seek out all 5 chairs. And this one, the Flatwoods Monster, does look a little angrier. I can actually step up. There's stairs here where I can step up and get a little closer to his face. So look at that. He's got the glowing, remember he has the glowing glow behind his helmet. But he's very angry brow there. You can see the V of his angry brow. Heading into Holly Gray Park here. Looking out there, there's a pond, a little bridge over it. It's actually flooding over into the road. So I guess we're gonna have to fjord it over the water. Over here by the baseball field, we have a Another monster chair. This one got a little creative. He's actually wearing a jersey for the local baseball team, the Eagles. So we can see the 10-foot tall monstrosity, the Flatwoods Monster there. And we'll check him out from the chair side here. There he is, welcoming you to sit in his lap. Definitely a very creative way to advertise the town's monster. Definitely a very soggy day here in West Virginia. You can see the puddles forming under the swings. The playground equipment pretty much flooded out. It'd be really hard to have a good time with all that water underneath you. Actually a brick street here. Look at it bounce. I've come to the neighboring town of Sutton, West Virginia. Here is the Carriage House, which is a hotel and restaurant here by the river. We're actually looking for another monster chair. Looks like they're building these strange, almost alien-like structures here next to the river. We've actually found our 4th monster chair. This is looks like a darker version of the Flatwoods Monster. Kind of a darker tint to it. He doesn't have the angry eyes like the other one. Kind of kind eyes, or at least as kind as those kind of eyes can be, because he has yellow eyes. Yellow, like a cat's eyes. But the Flatwoods Monster better watch out, because creeping here behind this tree, they have a rusty old T-Rex. I guess that would be the ultimate showdown. T-Rex versus the Flatwoods Monster. You can definitely see some flooding going on here next to the river. Said it was a rainy day. You can see the river overstepping its bounds there. Alright, gonna put some coins here in the old parking meter. Let's see how much we get for a dime. Nothing. I guess it doesn't take dimes. I guess I need to dig out some quarters here. That was 1 quarter. So we at least got 1 other quarter in here. I think I just accidentally leaned on the car horn and made it honk. Oh, there's another. There we go. There's another quarter. See how much time that'll buy us. All right, let's see how much time these 2 quarters will buy us. Oh, 1 quarter, 1 hour. That's a pretty good bargain. And now that we're all good and parked, we can check out the Braxton County's Visitor Center, also known as the Flatwoods Monster Museum. See, that's actually a movie poster for Small Town Monsters featuring the Flatwood Monster. And there we have a Flatwood Monster made out of household products. It's got a bucket for legs, garden tools for hands, a teapot for a head. It looks like maybe an old tractor seat for its hood. And we're greeted by this amazing Flatwoods Monster costume here. Now here's one of the early tourist ideas they had regarding the Flatwoods Monster. These lanterns that they would produce and sell in town here. And here's actual mold he used to create those lanterns. These are pieces of wood from the actual tree that the Flatwoods Monster was found standing next to. Then we have some Flatwoods Monster art. Little Flatwoods Monsters there. Flatwoods Monster bursting out of an Arizona iced tea stand. Is that like a Lego version? There's a variety of Flatwoods Monster costumes here. The big costume there. It looks like someone would be looking out through the chest. There's a child's costume. And a big flat Flatwoods Monster, ironically enough. Another one looming up here. The museum here showing off different interpretations of the Flatwoods Monster. Almost looks like a little bunny right there. Oh, here we have a little Mothman putting a little cameo appearance. These tiny little monsters there. Oh my goodness, look at these. These Flatwoods Monsters are very kawaii. It does appear the Flatwoods Monster has some semblance of popularity in Japan. You can see him appearing. There's very interesting. It's a clear vinyl dream rocket figure. There's the Flatwoods Monster DVD there. Some other shows he appeared in. You can see, I think that's the Fallout mask. I don't know much about the Fallout game, but I think it has Mothman and Flatwoods Monster in it. But I heard other people say that it was not a good game, so I haven't tried it. If anyone knows anything about it, let me know. I'd love to play it just because it has two of my favorite monsters in it. But if it's really as bad as everyone says it is, I don't know. A little plushy Flatwoods there, as well as that's another Lego monster. Some Flatwoods Monster spices there. Braxy's blend, as well as the Invasion hot sauce. You can see this building used to have a soda fountain in it. You can see the ice cream tools back there, as well as some Flatwoods Monster merch. Just the little lanterns that were made locally. There's a diorama showing the Flatwoods Monster and how he was found. You can see the local teenagers went to see the crash, and there was the monster. Some different shirts here. It says Braxy. I think that's similar to that, like a Nirvana shirt. I have a t-shirt with this image on it. And then this is the Flatwoods Ground Pounders. Monster merchandise here. This metal statue. A book. We have a beer. A Flatwoods Monster beer. And over here is a MetaZoo card. It's a card game like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, but they used some of the cryptids, different cryptid characters, and urban legends and tall tales for theming on the card, which I think is really amazing. I know this card game actually, people that bought some of the early cards are now worth a lot of money, so I don't know if this particular card is worth a lot of money. And over here we got a stained glass Flatwoods Monster. Here's a custom-made Japanese sword made in the style of the Flatwoods Monster. There's a rubber mask. What the Flatwoods Monster might look like. There's the Flatwoods Monster riding a buffalo there. And then this very cute sideshow poster. I remember seeing these for sale at various cryptid festivals. It's a photo of a UFO seen flying over Ireland, West Virginia. You can definitely see the little spot up over the mountain there. And we have a Mothman energy drink there, as well as some handmade Flatwoods Monsters. Yeah, I just love everyone's different interpretations of the monster there. Such creativity. Definitely fascinated by the Flatwoods Monster. Again, I just love the design. It is one of the weirdest, coolest designs for a cryptid, and very mysterious too, very different. I like the idea that maybe you don't know if it's a suit, you don't know if it's a creature. Maybe inside the Flatwoods Monster looks even weirder. But you know, West Virginia, known for its cryptids. As I said, Mothman, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, home of Mothman, not too far from here. But actually here in Sutton, West Virginia, home of the Flatwoods Monster Museum, there is another cryptid museum here, actually walking distance from the Flatwoods Monster Museum. Inside this old country store, they have a Bigfoot Museum. All right, so in here, you're welcome to the Bigfoot Museum. West Virginia Bigfoot Museum. Bigfoot.
He started the whole
I was
thing.
gonna say, that's actually the guy that started it all.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Our wood carver that works, like brings in stuff from
Yeah.
the country store, brought him in, and he said, "I'm bringing you something special." And I said, "Oh, you brought me Bigfoot." And he said, "No, I didn't. We don't have Bigfoot in West Virginia." And I said, "Looks like Bigfoot to me." And he said, "No." He said, "This is the old man of the mountain." And he said, "Bigfoots are mean and they live out west and they hurt people." And he said, "The old men of the mountain, they're kind of like bears and they don't hurt anybody, and we have a lot of those."
Okay.
So I showed him a picture of Bigfoot, and he's like, "Yeah, that's the old man of the mountain."
Old man of the mountain.
And so they just have been calling it something different.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not from all these stories, there's not a lot of aggression.
Okay, so the
know.
Bigfoots here in West Virginia don't show as much aggression as some of the other parts of the country.
Yeah. Same guy, but he's really impressive.
Yeah.
And he's working on a 9-foot one for us now.
Oh wow.
So we're really looking forward
Is that
to
going outside or?
Well, as soon as we do our expansion, that's
Yeah.
going to be at the front door. So
Okay.
that, as people walk in, they'll see the big guy. So yeah, it's really exciting. He's a very good carver. We really enjoy his
Yeah,
work.
it's really cool work.
He did the bench over there as well, and that just comes apart and clicks right into
Oh, yeah.
comes apart and goes into your car. Yeah.
Got a little bench there
Yeah.
being held up by two old men of the mountain. All right, so this mural here has two hidden Bigfoots in it. I think I spot. Okay, I think
Oh,
is
you
that.
found the hard one first.
Oh, the hard. That's the hard one.
Yes.
Okay, so I found the hard one, and
There's
there's
the
another
one.
Bigfoot
Yep.
there hiding in the woods. So they're saying these are all the original
Now this
prints.
is a human footprint done in the
Oh, okay.
same. This is done with the same casting process, so it gives you an idea of what a
Okay.
human print looks like compared to some of these others.
You compare that to the big footprints there.
Yeah, you can
And this is the 3D model of one of the prints. You can
Isn't
kind
it crazy
of
light?
put your hands on it. Yeah, I was expecting to be a little heavier than that. It's very light. You
And
gotta-
when you do the rubbing, that's that one there.
That's this one there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, you can see the toes are distinct there.
This is actually that one being made.
Oh, okay.
In the mud, because if you look, you can see where his original footprints were. I mean, the,
Oh, okay.
the toe prints. And
So
then
it like
kinda went-
stretched, like they
Yep.
slipped in the mud and they stretched out the toes?
Isn't that great?
That is.
And this is one where he was in, again, it was in a mud bank where he was like, they think he was like helping himself up over the bank.
Okay, like, yeah, sticking his hand in and pulling himself up.
Yeah. And these were juvenile ones that were found in a potato patch. And he actually got to see them. His neighbor, one of his neighbors called and said, "Hey, there's some really strange creatures that are digging in our potato patch." And so he went right over there, and as he pulled in, the one ran for the woods, the other continued to dig until he got his potato up. And
That's awesome.
so he got a really clear prints on those. And this big one is very unique because this was just over a log, so you kind of step over the log and into
Yeah.
the mud. But a deer stepped into his footprint right after he stepped in.
Okay, so
Over.
there's a
Can you
deer
see
print
the
in there.
deer print there?
Oh yeah, is that it right there?
Yep, right at the edge.
Oh wow.
They did some hair samples of the one that was rubbed up against the tree.
Yeah.
And it came back as not being orangutan or gorilla,
Okay.
but an unknown animal.
All right. So yeah, we got the orangutan right there, the gorilla, and that is Gigantopithecus, the extinct, or the supposedly extinct ape that some people believe is the Bigfoot still alive. It's different.
Stuff has happened, which is pretty much all over the state.
See, the entire state of West Virginia looks like it has a lot of Bigfoot activity. Now, where are we right now?
We're right
in
dead center.
dead center, right there.
And there's been quite a bit of activity around the lake area and in the surrounding mountains. And a lot of the old timers, I think they're protecting them. They're like, hey, they're living on my land and I'll shoot anybody that bothers me. You know? Prints, that's
Oh, yeah.
all done locally.
So that's a little 3D print Bigfoot kit. You break that out, put it apart, take it apart, put it back together as Bigfoot there. Also, these are little Bigfoot foot casts or earrings. These ones are the Bigfoots themselves. This little exhibit on the Yeti there.
And that's the Josh Gates copy, the print that Josh Gates collected.
Okay. Yeah, I know the legend of Jimmy Stewart apparently helping smuggle
Yes.
a Yeti.
I thought that would be fun.
It's a Yeti finger or a hand out of
The paw.
the
yeah.
paw. Huh. out of India. Yeah, that's a wild story. Some movie posters there of different Yeti, half man, half monster. There's the Yeti from Rudolph the Bumble.
Man, it's been fun to just hear what people's sightings are. And
so this is where you report the sightings, date of the sighting, details, description of creature. And so you had people come in here and submit sightings?
Yes, and then we usually turn them over to Les Odell, who then does further investigation,
Okay.
just to make sure
There's Les
that
Odell.
they're legit, and then he goes through and does, a lot of further investigation. So we're trying very hard to do, debunk any frauds, but also to make sure that we're collecting all these. So it's been really neat
Excellent.
to see what's come in.
See a lot of locally made Bigfoot products here. Look at that, the Bigfoot driftwood sculpture there.
He wrote the book, and then Mark did the illustrations for it. And then my husband, Louis, he wrote a book as well, The Wild Men of North America, because he was thinking, okay, if there are all these Bigfoot sightings now, there had to have been Bigfoot sightings before we were calling him Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So he went back from the 1950s and earlier to see what news articles he could find. And these are all historic news articles that he found on people finding, talking about it.
I think it was Teddy Roosevelt wrote about.
He's
wrote
in
about
there, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. He's
Teddy
one of the ones
Roosevelt
in there.
reported seeing.
But yes, so many. We came across a lot of articles that are just, they call them wild men.
Yeah.
Or different names for them because they didn't know what to call it. They were just like, this is a weird thing. And a lot of them are like, oh, maybe it escaped from the circus.
Yeah.
Or, there was a lot of that. So I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. And of course, Dr. Meldrum, he's going to be with us in June for our Bigfoot Festival. He's coming for a banquet. He'll be our banquet speaker, and then we're going to have speakers the next day as well.
Okay, so you have a festival and you said in June?
Every year, yep. And this year it'll be June the 25th.
Okay.
So, and the banquet will be on the night of the 24th.
Awesome.
So we're really looking forward to that.
Look down here. We've got a payphone. Do you think it works? Let's see. Just gonna, fingers crossed. Is this a working? Can you hear that? We have a dial tone. Who should I call? I mean, I don't really have anyone to call, but I'm just happy. I don't know. Is it ridiculous that I'm so happy to find a payphone that works? This is a rare occurrence. Anyway, goodbye. See an interesting statue of a fiddler here. There's more interesting carvings and statues in the window. Really cool wall painting here. It's advertising. It says, dress better, pay less. Our ladies, gents, and children's clothing is made by skilled tailors. Correct styles, workmanship, unexcelled. Unexcelled? What does unexcelled mean? Sorry, now I'm confused. We have Santa, one of his reindeer, roasting marshmallows. I guess this is what they do during the off season. The other day, I actually went and saw the Batman. It wasn't here in Sutton, West Virginia. It was somewhere else, but I saw it. So here's my spontaneous, unasked for review of the Batman. Some things were really cool. I think the Riddler was a pretty cool villain. I appreciated that they didn't have Batman start from like killing his parents. They didn't go ahead. They didn't start with showing his parents being killed, because we've seen that so many times. The movie looked pretty good. It was a little dark. But I kind of like the dark and gritty Batman. Now, my main problem with the movie, it's very long. It was a 3-hour movie. I was not prepared for the movie to be that long, and I thought the movie was wrapping up several times when in fact it was continuing. A good movie, but I think they probably could have shortened it by about an hour. So that was my the Batman review that was asked for by no one. we've traveled over to Gassaway, West Virginia, the next town over, and we're here in this RV park to find the final Flatwoods Monster chair. You can see this one's actually wrapped in Christmas lights, I guess, so they can light it up at night. But the interesting thing about this particular Flatwoods Monster chair is that it is designed to look like the lanterns. The lanterns were the traditional Flatwoods Monster merchandise that was sold here, the traditional souvenir that was sold here in West Virginia years and years ago. And so to dedicate the souvenir itself, they painted one of the Flatwood Monsters chairs to directly resemble the lamp. So thank you for joining me here today as we travel through rural West Virginia seeking out cryptids and tourism related to cryptids. Of course, we have the Flatwoods Monster, one of my favorite cryptids. And then we saw a little bit about the West Virginia Bigfoot, or the Old Man of the Mountains, as he prefers to be called. If you want to stick with me, I think we're going to continue traveling through the wonderful state of West Virginia, looking for some more interesting things. Of course, the end goal, we are gradually making our way to Trans World Convention, the Haunted House Convention in St. Louis. So we're going to be moving west until we make it there, hopefully. Where the creek don't rise, or however the expression goes, we will make it to St. Louis. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you like these videos, please subscribe. It'll let you know when new videos are coming out. I'm trying to upload a video about every day. I do take a day off here and there for my own sanity. If you'd like to have other ways to support the channel, consider donating to Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also selling 4 different styles of enamel pin. That's in the description of this video, in the Etsy shop. All that helps keep this train on the track, this boat in the water, and this UFO in the air. Until tomorrow morning, my friends, this one's in the bag.